The following conversation with Wallace Campbell was recorded in July of 2011. Wallace worked at Wagg's Creamery in Mindemoya, Ontario from 1950 until 1975. Wagg's Creamery was built by A.J.Wagg in 1901 and was an active part of the Manitoulin community until 2008. I'm Ruth Pettis, granddaughter of Wagg's founder A.J.Wagg. Wallace's wife Wilda is here as well, along with Craig Pettis, who is going to record and edit our conversation. Welcome, Wallace, and thank you for agreeing to discuss your role at the Creamery. Yeah, what year did you start?
1950, about the 1st of July. And the first job I had done to do, I went with John Wagg to the back field and we thinned turnips.
Turnips in
July. We thinned turnips for one summer. And then when haying started, I was the hayfield. They had acres of turnips.
Oh, God. Okay.
So when the fall come, we pull the turnips, top them, and put them in piles and cover them with the tops till they were frozen good. They're no good after frozen turnip. And then when it was time to bring them, we brought them into the barn. I think we took them, I don't know where, but we put them in the barn, but we would chop them up and feed them to the cattle. And then from there, in the fall, then I went down to Cream and I worked in the butcher shop for the winter. Dick Coe and Floyd Smith, Henry Bach worked in the butcher shop. And, then on Fridays, Thursdays we would load the truck up, Wagg's truck.
Yeah.
It went to Sudbury with butter, hogs, and eggs.
Okay.
The eggs were brought in and graded at the grading station at the Creamery. Well, I went to Sudbury with Uncle Ray Wagg. He drove the truck to Sudbury.
Okay.
On Thursdays, we come back on Saturdays. And I worked that then for that winter, and then the next spring I went inside. I worked inside. We made butter and made ice cream, and we done milk.
Corbier.
Doug Corbier was there, and he was the turn man at that time. Ken Smelter was working there too, but he wasn't inside. He was on the cream truck. We packed our butter and what we had left over from putting it in pound boxes, the supply they needed. We put in big 56-pound wooden boxes. It was stored in the freezers at the Creamery until winter time, when our cream supply was gone down. We'd get those boxes of butter out, soften them up, put them through the churn and mix them up, and then we put them through the printer, which was a hand printer when I first started. Okay. And then they bought an automatic printer. You just fed it and it came out. Put the wrappers in the back end and it came through all wrapped.
What is a printer?
It's the butter printer. It would make pounds. You'd have to weigh them. There was a scale there sitting on the back of it, and you'd have to weigh them every so often to make sure they weren't a pound, a quarter or something, that they were a pound. Yeah. And if the work got a little heavy, you'd have to adjust your screws on your machine. They got the stainless steel churns. There's no wooden churn when we wrapped. It just pushed the butter out and cut it off at pound lengths. There's wires on your handle. I think it made 4 pounds at a time. The shafters were long enough for 4 pounds. So you'd get the thing out, you'd cut it off, and then get it 4 pounds, and then the wrapper would wrap it. And you'd box it in 50-pound boxes, and you tape it and put it away. What was left over, then you put it in your wooden boxes. Then.
Oh, now tell about the milk and cream and all.
Well, the cream came in truckloads.
First, right?
The farmer separated the milk from the cream from the milk. They would put it in a can. It was gathered once a week. And you would have 4 trucks coming in every day. 3 full vats of cream every day came in. There'd be anywhere from a 3-gallon cream can to an 8-gallon cream can. Full of cream, depends on how many cows the farmer had. And then that cream was weighed, it was tested, tasted as a test, and then dumped if it was the right kind. Okay. Like you dumped it in the vat. And there was a lady up at the vat. She took all the weights and she put the top on the little bottle that you fill with your scoop, and she would put the name on it and the number of pounds. Well, the number of pounds of the cream was marked in the book, and that's the way all your farmers got paid.
Was it Ada?
Ada Hayner was there when I worked there.
Now, where did the cream come from? What farms would it come from?
Oh, it came from all over the island. It came all the way from Barry Island. And also, Also, there was a truck went to Webwood and Massey once a week.
So this was the only creamery on the whole island?
No,
at
there
that
was
point?
one. There was one in Manitowani,
Maston's.
Maston's Creamery. They gathered one end of the island, and Wags gathered the other. The Wags milk was never separated. It was milk.
Yeah.
And you had that much cream on top of every bottle. That's
Yeah,
what you took off and put on your porridge. But Farquhar's, they separated, or they had it all turned down to where they had skim milk and 1%
Oh,
and
okay,
all that
yeah.
stuff.
And then they sold
And they still do.
Cream was used for butter,
Butter.
making butter and not ice cream. Did you do ice?
Oh yes, there was some
and
cream.
cream and ice
If
cream,
you got
yeah.
nice, sweet, fresh cream,
Yeah.
we saved that for ice cream.
And did you make ice cream as
Well,
well?
I Huey LaHead had the recipes up here. He never made two batches the same. There'd be a little difference in every batch.
Is
So
there?
they tell me that they got Huey's recipe. They haven't got Huey's recipe. Huey's recipe was done. It went into the furnace.
Right.
They have got Huey's recipe. The ice cream today doesn't taste like Huey's. No, it never will.
No.
Guaranteed.
You never gave it to anybody?
Well, no, no,
You
no.
don't know anything about it
I
at
don't
all?
know. I just went by the recipe he gave me. And when that recipe was done, why, he took it and destroyed it.
So what would be in
He
it?
would make, oh gosh, that's 30, 40 years ago. I quit there in
Come on now.
1975. There was milk stock, there was eggs, real eggs. There was a certain amount of cream, whole milk, and sugar. All went in the vat together. And we put a big stick on the auger, and it was stirred all up. And boy, when that came out of the freezer, that was good, Ruth. A lot better than this frozen stuff.
How long would it take to make a?
Then we start in the morning, we'd have it all out by noon. But we didn't make, we would put it in 8-gallon cans and leave it there for the day, like maybe the next day or whenever they're going to have time to make ice cream. But
the
we didn't
mixture-
make thousands of gallons of ice cream like they do today. Maybe six different flavors. It'd be maple and cherry and walnut and chocolate. Maybe just 4. Well, vanilla, yeah. you'd have to-
Butterscotch?
Well, yeah,
No,
maybe they did. There'd be about 6 different flavors.
And did you make ice cream every day?
Oh, no. We may be making once a week.
Summer.
A lot of the ice cream, a lot of the little ice cream, the little packages of ice cream.
The bricks? No?
No, yeah, we made the bricks, 2.5 gallons and the bricks.
So funny
But you know, you had to taste that stuff in the liquid, you know.
Oh.
See if it was fit to put ice
Okay.
cream.
So
put
did
in
you
ice
gain any
cream.
weight when you did ice cream or not?
Not too much,
No,
no,
good.
because you work from 6:30 in the morning till 5:30
Well,
at
they
night.
had to
Go
let
back
those
and shut off
100-pound
vats.
cans of-
Go back and shut off vats at
this
11, 12
size.
o'clock at night during the summer when the weather was
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
The water wouldn't cool the vat down slow enough, fast enough.
And then we wonder why
Okay.
his
So it'd
back
be
was
lots of
so
nights to be
bad.
12 o'clock when I'd go down and shut off vats. So, and the milk, the milk all came from their own farm, their own cows. Pasteurized it and put it over a cooling plate and bottled it.
But they bought,
At the last, why they were using paper cartons.
Carton.
But mostly plastic bags, yes. There was the machine all in itself. It had nothing to do with the bottles. It didn't work off the bottling machine at all. They just bought a bagging machine and took
Yeah.
the hose from one place and put it into
No,
the
they
other.
went
Yeah.
Piece of pipe added.
Yeah.
Be a little longer.
Tell us about turkeys.
Turkeys.
Yeah, because
Well-
there was turkey production in there for a while, wasn't there? Turkeys
Well,
and
Mr.
fowl.
Wagg, he bought everything the farmer had. He bought all the farmers' stuff they had. They had chickens, they had eggs,
Yeah.
they had turkeys, they had pigs. That was all bought. He bought all that stuff when he was in the business. Yeah.
And he processed it all.
Well,
In there, used it all.
the turkeys and the chickens would come in all dressed, already dressed. No, killed and picked
Oh, okay.
and already dressed up,
And
ready for the.
who did that? Who did the dressing of
Well,
those?
it was the farmer.
Okay.
They would come in all ready,
Already.
all ready to go in the roast pan.
And
All but cutting the feet off. The feet was still on, hanging them up in the head.
he
All the
sold
farmer's
them.
process was bought.
Yeah.
It was all taken to Sudbury.
Sudbury.
It would be they would be got around Christmas time, turkeys,
Okay.
and
yeah.
they would be all taken to Sudbury. He had market for that stuff.
Yeah.
He had market for his pork. He had market for his chickens. He had market for his eggs. He had market for his turkeys.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'd go with Uncle Ray, and we'd go over there Friday morning, and we'd work hard all day Friday after we got there, and get up early in the morning and start again Saturday morning, or Saturday morning.
How long a trip was it to Sudbury then?
Fairly long, yes. Yeah.
Not 2 hours.
And the road wasn't like it is
You
today
didn't
either.
go over and back in one day.
No.
The road isn't like it is today either.
Yeah.
It was gravel,
Gravel road.
and it was rough,
Okay.
and it was hilly.
Yeah.
Really?
And were the trucks refrigerated too? When
No,
they weren't.
so you'd leave early in the morning and get there as soon as you could to get it into the.
Yeah.
Whoever was buying it, get it in with coolers. Our first stop would be, I think, Espanola. On the way over, they had some stores at Espanola that they serviced. And then you'd go from there to Sudbury. And there was a place the other side of there, and in the springtime it would be flooded. So the first thing Uncle Ray would do would be stop, take the fan belt off the truck, go through the water hole, stop on the other side, put the fan belt back on. He wouldn't use the clutch. He had it right down pat. When that truck got to a certain speed, he'd just shift the gear like that, and he never clanged a gear, nothing. They were in there perfect.
Talk about how many trucks there'd be in this fleet that he owned.
Well,
Well, you said 4 came in every day.
Well, there was, as I said, there was maybe 4 load of cream come in, but there was one guy from my state that brought a load of cream in. He was hired to gather the cream and bring it in on his own truck. Roy Chisholm drove a truck, Ken Smelter drove a truck, Floyd Smith drove a truck, and Dorn Bryan drove a truck when I worked there. Dorn Bryan went to Massey and Webwood. He had a little truck that they used out in the butcher room. Went to gather pigs in. They always went and gathered up the farmers' pigs. They killed them there, and then they bring them back in the back of the truck dead. And all you had to do was throw them in the back in the butcher shop, and they just scald and trough already to scald them. You rolled them until that hair come off nice and easy, and you brought them out on the table, and you had little round metal scrapers, but that big around, the kind of oval shape with a handle on it, and boy, you could scrape a pig then maybe about 15 minutes. As long as it come off his feet, the rest would come. But you had to make sure it come off his feet first. The first thing you done was you peeled his tail. You brought him out of the steaming hot water and ready to scrape. After they were scraped, you would hang them up on the hang up on the track, and Floyd was the guy that looked after them from then on.
Did you have a cooler for the pigs? Did you have a cooler to put the pigs
Oh
in?
yeah, the back end of the butcher shop was.
Yeah. Did they call it the Creamery then, or did
Oh,
they
yes.
have a? Okay.
Oh,
I mean, it was more than the
the
Creamery, but it was just called the
Well,
Creamery.
it was just, that's what it was called then. There was a big sign up there.
Yeah.
Well, it's creamy, it's down.
Craig
it's down.
just painted it today.
Oh, did he?
He
Okay.
repainted.
Well, that's the one that was up above
Yeah,
the door.
the door.
On the north end
Yeah.
of the building.
Yeah.
Right over where you
Yeah.
brought the cream in.
Yeah.
That's the rock that was there.
There was quite a staff then.
From Mindemoya alone, there was 4 truck drivers, maybe 5 truck drivers. There was 3 or 4 worked out in the butcher room. There was somebody who worked in the egg grading station pretty well all week, because the eggs would come in 30 dozen egg crates. At least a lot of them did, because a lot of the farmers had a lot of hens. And they were graded and put back in your 30 dozen egg crates if eggs were good.
Yeah.
What we didn't use to make ice cream. But with real eggs, you take a 30 dozen egg crate, and you'd get an egg, you'd get a cream can and start breaking eggs in it for your ice cream.
And then we're over at the store. Then there was Roy Pyatt, Doug Hutch,
Roy
Gene
Pyatt,
Irving,
Gene Irving, and Velma
Hayner, Edna Lewis, Gloria Corbier on
Yeah,
the
on the till.
Doug McDermott was there,
Velma.
and I don't remember Velma, but I know Doug
That's what it
McDermott
matters.
was there, and Dave Wyman worked there.
yeah.
Now, there were fires there too, were there?
Before
you
The
were
fire
there?
was there before I started.
There was only one fire
The
then.
creamery
the
was
first,
burned
the first
Yeah.
The first
before I
Creamery.
was there.
Do you know anything about it?
Just
Yeah.
what I heard about it,
Um,
just that
Well, what I
they
heard
were
was
putting a new roof on with
a
hot
tarred
tar, an airplane landed up here in the field of ambulance.
Was when the first
And everybody
airplane
wanted to
went
see the
off.
airplane, and the thing caught fire
Oh, really?
while they were
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Is what I was
Yeah,
told,
they
but
were
I don't know.
tiring.
That's interesting.
Tarring a roof.
Yeah, hot tar.
Did the whole thing burn down? They had to start over, or
I think
just?
it
No, I
was-
don't think so.
No, just-
I really couldn't tell you.
I think so, Wallace.
Before
I
I
think the
came
first-
up-
And when you started, Huey Lahead was the
He really was the
Buttermaker.
boss man.
Was he still a boss man when you left?
hired,
Huey
eh?
had died. Ken Smelser was in there. Ken Smelser was boss when I left.
Now, did you see A.J.Wagg very much at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was
Oh,
his
yeah.
role there? What
AJ,
did he do?
if AJ wanted something done,
Yeah.
he'd come to me. You come with me. He said, you come with me.
Yeah.
I want to do this. So, I didn't care.
No.
I liked AJ. He was a good guy, as far as I was concerned. We get along good. So I went with AJ. If we were there half a day, we were there all day. It didn't matter. Whatever he wanted done, why I went up and do it.
But was he the sort of the brains behind the organization?
Well, he
then,
started
or-
it.
Yeah. But so he hired these other people to do the jobs.
Oh
then,
yeah,
is what
oh
he
yeah,
did.
oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think
It
he
was
ever-
Duff Brown and Doug Bex that hired me.
Yes.
I was roaming around downtown one day, and I guess it Doug. And he was out in the streets. I'm doing something. He said, "You want a job?" Well, I said, "That's kind of what I'm looking for. Kind of sitting idle doing nothing right now." So he said, "Come in the morning." So I went. Well, he said, "Go to the farm in the morning." So he watched and smelled. That's where I went, and I was there ever since.
I was telling Craig he only had his grade 6,
I don't have grade. I
but
don't
he
have
ended
grade
up
6 education.
getting his butter maker.
My
piece.
butter maker's face, my cream grader's
Now,
license. I had my cream tester's license.
Is that right?
He had them
I
all.
went
How
down to Ottawa
did
for a
you-
week.
How did you go get the? Where did you go to get all those papers?
Guelph,
Well, okay.
Guelph, the
On agricultural
agricultural
college?
school in Guelph.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
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 So you got your.
I went down and we had a week's course down there, and they said, well, when I went in to turn, they said, "How long you been making butter?" I said, 10 years. Oh, I said, "You know all about it. You don't need any help from us." So I went ahead. I made my.
You made your butter right there and showed them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I made the butter, and graded the cream and tested it, and
Got your
about a
license.
week after I come home, all my certificates come home behind me.
Now, did this creamery win some awards too? I think I've
It
seen
win
awards
it
that it
won award every year.
See,
The best butter in Ontario.
they could have
It was the
so
best
much
butter in
salt.
You could have so
and
much salt, so much
water.
moisture in it.
Uh-huh.
Our
And
butter
he-
was right on the line,
Right on the line.
mark.
Wow.
Every year. It went to Toronto, to the exhibition every year. Huey Lahead and Doug Bex. When I was there, Huey and Doug Bex went to Toronto to the
Royal Winter Fair.
the Royal Winter Fair, and our butter was there. It went ahead of them. But it was there when they got there, and we got first prize every year.
One question I've got is, you know, I'm an occupational physician as well. You know, I mean, that's something I do. I do family medicine, but I also do occupational medicine. And when I hear you're lifting 100-pound bags of things and 50-pound of butter at a time, I cringe. You know,
Well,
because I mean, nowadays you can't do that. That's thought to be too heavy. So what were the rules
You
around?
tell me.
What were the rules? What were the rules around what was okay
There was
to
no
do?
rules.
Okay, that's what I want
There
to
was
know.
no rules. You could lift what you could lift, whether
Okay.
it was 10 pound or 200 pound, you lifted it.
Now, did anybody get hurt doing those kinds of jobs?
Not at the cream that
Nobody
I
had a
know,
sore
not
back
at
or
that
sore
time.
shoulder or
At that time, but my back's buggered up now.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I mean,
those 8-gallon cans, when they were full, weighed 100 pounds at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them a little heavier, maybe 102, 103 pounds. Depends on the weight of your can. You weighed your can, you had your cans all marked, the weight was on them. So when you put them on the scales, that's what you put on the beam of your scale was the weight of your can. And the weight that showed up in the dial was the weight that was in your can. That was the pound of cream that the farmer sent in.
so you were lifting 100 pounds,
Oh, at least.
and how often would you do that?
Well, you would have, let's see, on a day's cream truck with 4 cans, 100 cans to our truck. We do
4
it 400 times a day.
400 times a day. Yeah. And,
All
and
the cans didn't weigh 100 pounds. There was the 3-gallon can. Your shotgun can would maybe weigh 45, 50, 60 pounds. It depends on how heavy your cream was.
and did anybody show you how to lift to make sure you did it safely?
Well, I tell you, It was a lot easier to lift it yourself than the guy that helped me lift it, because he used one hand all the time. I said, if you give me the can, I said, give it to me, I'll do it myself, it'd be a lot easier. I wouldn't get so much slop all over me. Huey always tasted the cream. He was the taster.
So nobody ever had to go home sick or wouldn't come in because their back was sore or their shoulders were
Not
sore.
that I ever heard of.
See,
Okay.
nobody
you should-
lost fingers.
Nobody lost any fingers.
Were there any things you wore in your foot protection?
Just your rubber boots.
Rubber boots.
The floor was always wet.
Always. I remember the hose.
Always wet.
Always
And no
wet.
eye protection.
No,
nothing.
no,
With-
nothing. You had if your ammonia started leaking, why the guy that fixed it had a gas mask, but that's all. The rest of us put up with it, or else we got outside away from it till it was fixed. Your ammonia tanks, there was 2 or 3 big ammonia tanks back there, filled with gases for your refrigeration.
Yeah.
And your ice machines was all back in the back. Well, it was made ice the Creamery when I was there, but I don't remember taking up ice in an ice house. But I do remember going to the bush, cutting wood. When I started, it was wood that they used to in their furnace.
Oh.
Maybe about a 3-4 foot block.
But he owned woodlots.
Oh,
didn't he?
yes.
AJ owned woodlots.
Yeah, where your Uncle Doug was,
Yeah.
that was Wagg's lot.
Yeah.
And on this side of the road, back there was they cut wood in there. They cut wood across from where Floyd Smith lived, or where John Smith lived, rather.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I remember going to the bush there would be maybe 3 of us go to the bush with a big 2-man saw, and we cut wood. We cut the trees down, cut the wood up. Drew it home. We drew it out to the road with a team of horses, and then they had an old truck that they used to haul it from the bush, or from there home. And we done that in the wintertime.
To fire the.
To fire to keep the boiler hot.
Yeah.
Gee, the boiler, I think the steam went, I think the heat went from the boiler at the Creamery over to the store.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it heated a lot of the store, it all went underground.
Yeah.
Underground over there.
Now, in terms of pay, would you be paid in cash or would you be paid in
Well,
things?
you would be
or-
paid in cash.
In cash. Now, was the cash, would it be similar to what everybody else in town would get, or would you get more or less than most?
When
or
I
how-
started, I got $90 a month.
So then at some point in time they must have changed from wood.
They changed from wood and then they went to coal.
Okay.
They went to coal from there. They would get a big old bin of coal in this fall and another one in the spring. It came from the coal yards of Little Current.
Yeah.
It was after they were still using coal when I left. There'd be a big old stack of coal out the back. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 big truckloads in this fall, and another big pile of it come in again in the spring. We had a guy that looked after the furnace. He would clean the flues. He'd have a big pole and with a brush on it,
Yeah.
and there'd be flues going out through the top of that. And that was a dirty job. I think whoever got through with his work, if he hurried up and got through his work, he got the dirty job of cleaning the flues.
Oh.
It wasn't just one guy.
So how many people would have their butter making papers then, besides you and
Well,
and
there'd be
Huey?
2.
You and Huey?
Ken,
And
after
Ken?
Huey went, Ken Smeltzer.
Okay.
He went first. I told Ken to go ahead and get his papers. So he was going to be the boss anyway.
And then you were.
And
you were
then
the second
after he
one.
came back, I went to.
Yeah. So if he was on holidays, you'd take over. Is that?
Yeah,
what
well,
happened
I
there?
was pretty well made butter then.
You were
He
the
was
butter
there.
maker.
He was there, but he was the head man.
Yeah.
But I
you were the butter
was
maker.
pretty well on the turn
Right.
from there until I quit. In the last few years, then from '71 we bought the farm, and from there on till '75, I just worked till my work was done and kept track of my time. And when my work was done, I come home and got in tractor and went to the field and cut my hay.
Yeah.
And I had the hay cut, and I'm a bad boy. I worked on Sundays, but I had no other objective. When the hay was ready to bale, Wilda jumped on the tractor and the baler wouldn't bale it. The kids and I and her hauled it in, then in the evenings after it could dry. It's just been a good life. I
Yeah.
loved every bit of it.